everybody? I'm Nick in the States, and today, well, it's a long-awaited video. Cam 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2 of the Harley Benton SC-550 Paradise in a Paradise Amber Flame Top goodness. Got this guitar in, probably a month and a half ago, give or take. Time flies when you're having fun. Finally getting the video up now. Part of the reason why it's taken so long is this was part of a bummer order. This guitar had a couple things we'll get into, and then my Big Tone, the jazz box I got in, also had some dissatisfaction issues. So I had some back and forth with Toman. They've done a good job making things right. So now let's talk about this thing. So for those of the uninitiated, this is basically Harley Benton's take on the a slash Appetite for Destruction, Paradise City. I think the Paradise Flame is playing off the words Paradise City looking guitar. In fact, though, this guitar actually looks a lot more like a Joe Perry Boneyard finish than a slash one. That was one of my initial issues. Was it's got a lot of browns, a little bit of yellow there. The book matching isn't perfect on the top, meaning that, like you can see, this is slightly lower than this. I have a feeling this was kind of a Friday guitar. It needs a little bit of love to make right. But, and it's a big but. Pickups are awesome. They sound really good. I like them a lot. Let's go over the specs. 24 3/4 inch scale, rosewood fretboard, which is a pretty nice rosewood there. I think the job on the inlays is rather good, as Chinese or import guitars go. There's your cool little wafty, strange rhombus-y shape on the headstock. The Harley Benton inlay, the flat top kind of headstock style, vintage style tuners, which I will tell you work actually pretty well, smooth. Nice looking neck there. You do have a scarf joint. You do have a two-piece heel. It's a comfort contour. Sorry guys about the noise there. Turn that guy off. Comfort contour for easy access. It's a slightly different comfort contour than the SC-450 Plus that I have is. I don't know which one feels better. This one actually, it's comfortable. It's very comfortable. Nice looking. I think it's a three-piece back, but here, we'll go over this camera. Better view on this camera. You can see it's a pretty piece of wood, clean, nothing, no big obnoxious marks. Fit and finish for a binding perspective, pretty good. All around, not a bad guitar. I think the biggest issue that I had personally with this thing is just when I saw this top, it was really not the top that I wanted. And amazingly, I will say that it photographs slightly better. It's grown on me in the month and a half. It sat there. I refused to touch it for the first week. It sat in my office leaning up against one of the filing cabinets, and you'd come in my lab and you'd look at it and go, ugh. And slowly over time, it grew on us. But it's still, I don't know. It was a disappointment when I got it. Like I say, that the seam doesn't match up perfect on the center there. It's not way off. It's not horrendously bad, but if you're going to stare at it every day, and if you're the person who's wired like me that it would bother you, then there's that. Comes with these strap locks that I have not tried, but after seeing multiple videos of other people having them pretty much stink, I would recommend replacing them and getting those done. Overall, though, I think it's still a very nice guitar. If the top was great, I'd have been a lot happier, or more towards just the pictures, how it was depicted there. I'd be cool. But the other thing, and I'll try to get it in a view on the camera if I come in nice and close. You can see how you can see the edge of those frets there? You shouldn't be able to see from below edges of frets. And I've got a picture that I'll probably flash up right around now too. It's the first Harley Benton that's really bit me. And this one definitely has a serious case of fret edge. So, I mean, it's just, especially as you get down to here, you split paper with it as it hits these things. They're that pronounced. So, you know, I've been always shocked at the quality control that Thomann has had to date on all my other guitars. This one was one of the first ones that snuck out as kind of one of those Friday guitars that someone kind of missed a little small details on. So, it is what it is. Overall, though, we've got some dirty tones coming out of the Yamaha. I heard some criticism on my last video, loud and clear, about office recordings, in that you hear the strumming and the strings. So I'm back to being less lazy and using the direct in. I'm recording the audio out of the Yamaha with a USB out. So hopefully that sounds a little better and more amenable to everybody's ears. I agree. But pickups have a lot of soul power. They're not weak pickups, but they have a body to them. They're very warm. They've got something. I like them. They're high output Alnicos, my understanding. I think the SC-550 and the Vintage Burst have a different, or at least on the website, are listed as having a different set of pickups that are the same as the SC-450 Plus. But anywho, so they're nicer, but even if you want to clean them up, they clean up quite nice. It up a little. They really push the amp sims that are in the Yamaha to really have some. Just that warm kind of. nice, really good sounding pickups. I'll say the action out of the box came in, I don't know which camera I want to go to. Not bad, not horrendous. One of these days I'll get a string height measure so we can get that a little bit more precise. Tone-wise, I dig it a lot. I think she's quite cool. Quality control from a top and fret edge perspective, not my cup of tea. The fret edge is just horrendous. And today I'm going to polish those guys up. I've got a fret file set. I'll clean up the ends. I'll make it nice. But overall, is this worth buying? I don't know. This was the holiday batch that they got in. I know, and I used to advise if you were buying a custom Chinese Les Paul inspired guitar from our direct friends over on AliExpress and whatnot, I'd always say hold off buying around the Christmas season because they're in such a rush and quality control can slip. And I don't know if this may have been one of those things where they're ramped up and cranking out many descended Tolman for the holidays and maybe the quality slipped a little bit. I'm not sure. It's my theory though. We'll see how everyone else is. I know a bunch of people that have orders in flight currently that are waiting to get some in, so I'm intrigued to see how those guys get theirs. I think 650 Thunderbird's getting his down in Australia, and a couple other guys. So my dad got his in 2 days before this, and his top looks way better than mine from the couple little pictures that I saw. So maybe this one was just kind of a dog, and she's not hideously ugly. It's just not. It's not the guitar pictured in the pictures. This might be your cup of tea. And in fact, that brings me to my next thing. I'm not keeping this guitar. My good buddy, Squazoo 68, we were sending over some pictures of it, and Tolman had given me a credit due to some of the inconsistencies on this, and then some shipping damage on my other one. And he said, "Well, if you're ever going to sell it, let me know. I like that. It reminds him of a Joe Perry Boneyard." So I kicked it over. Gave him a good price, and this is going to go to Squazoo to join my old Brian May over there. There's a little refugee camp of former Nick in the States guitars down in the greater Pennsylvania area. So that's cool. If I were to do it again, I would buy the vintage black tobacco burst SC-550 because they don't date. They're not staining. What happens on this is how you do this is you stain them, put a layer of black on, then you wipe the black or the dark brown off, then you do this ambery kind of thing. Well, it takes a little bit of talent, and this is a very thin veneer, so if you put too much, it absorbs all of it, just becomes a big brown puddly pool kind of deal. So it's kind of hard to do. With a thick maple top, it's a little more forgiving because you could always sand it back and kind of start all over. The vintage burst, when they don't do a stain first, it's just kind of a perimeter paint edge, transparent perimeter. So therefore, it's simpler and it tends to look better. I'll show you kind of to underscore the point. If you look at the top of, randomly here, if you look at the top on a, actually we'll go with this camera. See how beautiful that top is? All that is a transparent amber finish with clear coat put on the nice flame maple top. Where this is a two-stage where they wipe on a dark stain, clear it off, and then they do a darker amber kind of over it. And it's harder to do. And for a low-price guitar, it means it's easy to mess up, not be perfect. Stay tuned, folks. Sorry, run in. Stay tuned. We'll see more of this one sometime in the very, very near future. So last thoughts. Ditch the strap locks. Check out the other videos for the SC-550. Some people have had better luck than me and gotten in some good ones. And it's further proof to show that the top of the line isn't a huge amount better. I like my SC-450 Plus more than I like this guitar. Although the pickups in this are pretty awesome. So that's kind of that. Let's sum this up nicely, shall we? Had I bought the vintage burst one, which was easier for them to make, I'd probably be happy to be keeping it. Clean up some fret ends, call it a day. I'm psyched that this is going to find a good home with someone that'll appreciate some of its nuances. Yeah, I imagine you'll see, hopefully, a video there. Bug Squazio to get some stuff up. He's a good dude. He's got good videos. So, anywho, I've been Nick in the States. Obviously, I have issues. This is one, but thanks for standing by, stopping by, coming by, watching some videos, and we'll have some more up soon. Thanks. Cheers.